Hey guys, welcome. Welcome to another ramble. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're taking care of yourself because you are the most important investment ever. Ever. More your energy is currency. Your energy is soul currency in this particular timeline, space and dimension. Protect it. Safeguard it. Only those who are worthy of you should have access. Everyone else is like, bye. This is your friendly reminder. If you if you're encountering people who are draining your energy and they're not replenishing it, bye. Oh man. So I was thinking about it today. This video is actually going to be on self-mastery. Self-mastery. Like how do you maintain being in chaos? Like, how do you maintain your peace amidst chaos? I've always wondered, like how do people remain so calm and peaceful and neutral despite being surrounded by chaos? Let's get into it. Let me light this Palo Santo first and cleanse the energy. Yeah, so the subject matter kind of falls in line with self mastery. You know, if you can maintain and retain a sense of calmness and equilibrium despite what is going on around you, despite who is around you, that's self mastery. You know what I mean? Think about it. Nobody is dictating your reality, dictating how you feel, dictating what you think, because you are. Self mastery. Cleanse the energy. Cleanse the energy. Bye bye, Juju vibes. Bye bye. Good. Return to sender. Return to sender. Juju vibes. It's as simple as that. If you guys are like highly sensitive, empath, and you're wondering, oh my gosh, why do I feel amiss today? You probably caught somebody's contagion. Let's be honest. If it's not yours and you're not like processing something in your energetic, energetic body or your causal body, then you probably caught a contagion. And it's simple as intentionally sending it back to its source and then calling your energy back. You know what I'm saying? Yes, do that daily as much as possible. Yeah. Okay. So I was thinking about it and I was like, oh my God, I should make a video on that because I've been like seeking for most of my life. I have been a truth seeker for I want to say, yeah, for ever since I've arrived. Been a truth seeker and a truth speaker, you know? Yeah. Who wants lies? Nobody wants lies, even white lies. Like, I want the truth. But anyways, so I thought about it and I was just like, the secret lies in your nervous system. If you think of your nervous system, it's made up of nerves. Obviously, duh. That's why it's called nervous system. And yeah, it's like electrical currents that are being fed throughout the physical body based on the mental emotional currents. So if your mental and emotional is like chaotic, like out of control because you're not regulating it, yeah, your body will follow suit, and then that's when you will feel kind of weird. You're gonna feel off kilter. You're gonna feel imbalanced, unaligned, um, tired, depressed. All the negative emotions on the scale. I'm not saying to bypass those. No, no, no. I've spent most of my life actually getting to the root cause of the negatively charged emotions. And I've also been observing the thoughts, the mental thoughts that are yoked to these emotions. And, it affects your physical, obviously. Yeah. So it's all about learning how to regulate your nervous system, regulate the energetic flow and charges that are moving through you at any given point of time. Now, if you are an empath and you don't know how to regulate, you're going to be a sponge and a filter, and you're going to take on everybody else's shit. That's why you don't like being around people. You're just like, dude, I feel so gross. I feel so yucky when I go around people when I'm in large crowds. It's because you're picking up, you're like very porous and you're picking up on everybody else's energy, right? And that's why, like, you need to learn how to regulate that, you know? So, like, I want to say it takes practice, obviously, but you have to get to a point where you recognize and you're kind of like not trying to be anything, you are, and intentionally like choosing. You know what I mean? So for instance, if I have a upset person in my vicinity, if I'm porous and I am unaware and not intentional, I'll probably take on that person's stuff. And then that person will walk away and I'll start, acting out that energy. But if you're more intentional and more aware, you'll totally recognize, okay, this person's energy is angry. That's theirs, and mine is calm. You get what I'm saying? So it's almost like you're very intentional and aware of where your energy begins and ends, and when somebody else's energy begins and ends. And the only way you can do this is by having a very balanced nervous system. I mean, that's bottom line. Self mastery is having a very balanced nervous system that you regulate. You don't allow anyone else or anything else around you to regulate. You know what I'm saying? So, like, yeah, self mastery, I feel like that entails being able to hone in on your own energy and regulate yourself, and not let anyone else or anything else regulate it for you. You're going to ask me, well, how do I regulate my nervous system? It requires self inquiry, um, self awareness. It requires being intentional, about like what you will invest in and not invest in, what you will allow and not allow, you know. Um, yeah, and to get to that point, you have to literally sit with yourself. So sit with yourself. I want to say silence and space and stillness are your allies on your path towards self-mastery. Because think about it, if you don't have silence and there's chaos and noises all around you, how can you fully concentrate on your inner atmosphere? If there isn't stillness and you're constantly moving and doing and whatever, how can you hone in on your own inner stillness? You know what I mean? And then what was the third thing I said? Space. So space is required so that you have like your own space to process these energies in, and you're not constantly being like invaded by somebody else's energy, like their mental projections and stuff. And that's why, like, I don't know, like as an empath, I do, and I think you do too, enjoy your alone time immensely. It's essential, like breathing air. I need that time. I need time to sit in space, silence, and stillness. Especially like, for instance, if I do catch a contagion, which I want to say in the elementary phases is quite easy to do because you still don't know your system and you don't know how to regulate and you don't know how to, like, access that regulatory switch in yourself. You're going to catch a lot of contagions, and then you're going to be like, oh my God, this is overwhelming. Like, I need to get out of here. Like, I hate people. I don't like people. Can I just go somewhere in the forest and be alone? Yeah. So I just want you to know, like, as a friendly reminder, in the elementary phases of self mastery, knowing yourself, regulating your nervous system, yeah, you will go through that. I did. It's like it was almost paralyzing sometimes, it's just like, oh my God, like, especially if you're around people who are like, um, not self aware and they're very obnoxious and they're just like, I don't know, using you as an emotional dumping ground. Yeah, that's very draining. And then I need to leave. You know what I mean? Sometimes before it would take me like weeks, months to recover. Sometimes. Like I would just be like, if you're a battery, my battery was empty. Like so much so that it took weeks, months to recover. And it's all about like you're not aware. You're not aware that you have this operating system. You're not aware how to find this regulatory switch in you. You're not aware that you can actually regulate. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's all trial and error. It's all experiential, experimental. So don't be hard on yourself and don't be hard on people because people don't know either. They don't know. They just don't know. Like if you watch people, which I like doing, it's like my favorite pastime. I will literally just watch people and then I can kind of like decipher like, okay, they're holding on to these emotions, these things are blocked in their system, like it's almost like I don't know. Do you know? If you know, you know. If you know, you know. By the way, don't judge a book by its cover. I want to say like, I don't know, I made a video on wise people. Wise people. And then know-it-alls, like know-it-alls are trying to put on this facade, like they're all-knowing and all-seeing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Same with spiritual people, man. They don't have to proclaim themselves, man. They don't have to be like proving it to anyone. They don't have to be like, oh, look at me. I have all these crystals and these. I go to ashrams and I sit at the foot of the guru. So I'm so spirit. Dude, I know like so many people like that have so much blockages and then they're just kind of like feeding an identity or their ego like, oh, look at who I am in the world. Yeah, man, spiritual people don't have to prove anything. They don't have to say anything. And in actuality, I feel like socially they have been categorized as, like people who wear like mala beads and like, oh, I do yoga. Oh, namaste. Dude. Mm-mm. Like you could be with a highly spiritual, highly wise person, and you wouldn't even know it. They could look like a normal person. They're not trying to prove anything. And it could also be paradoxical. They could be like someone that you wouldn't even think is that way. So don't judge a book by its cover. I don't even want to say judge, but for this particular message that I'm trying to get through, judge people by their energy. Yeah, I was just talking to my coworker today, and I guess she's getting a major in psychology. And dude, I don't need to go to college, dude. I just watch people and I inquire. You get answers, the inner answers instead of the external answers. You see with the inner eye, not the outer eyes. But anyways, where was I going with this? Psychology. Oh yeah, you can tell a lot about a person. I made videos on this before. I don't know if people watch them or listen to them, but you can tell a lot about a person by their energetic signature. What is the energetic signature? Um, how they leave spaces that they've been in. For instance, like you know how they say cleanliness is close to godliness. So if you go into somebody's work area or their home or their car, anywhere, and you can tell a lot by their energetic signature. How they treat the items in their space, how they organize it or don't organize it, if they hoard, if they are simple. You know, you can tell a lot just by like looking at people's energetic signature. It's the mark that they leave behind after they've resided in a particular space. Like you can tell if somebody's mind is like really like frantic because they're like totally disorganized. Um, or if you can tell if they're like calm and neutral and clean because everything is just, I think if you know, you know. I don't think I have to really get into detail about this, or do I? I don't really want to though. Yeah, don't judge a book by its cover. Judge it by its energy. Also, have you noted, like, I don't know if you guys have people in your life, like some people like you interact with and then you feel really junk afterwards, like you feel really down in the dumps. And then you have some people that you interact with and then you feel like refreshed and you feel like like energized and you feel peaceful. That's another like aspect of the energetic signature of a person. So just like observe these things, I do like all the time. And I do it from like a very neutral point. That's another thing. Like self mastery requires patience and neutrality. I feel like I don't know, the current days that we are living in, I feel like a lot of people lack patience. It's just like, hurry up. I need to get to the next thing. Like, oh my God, scroll, 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 scroll. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Yeah, no patience. It's just like, I just need a hit. I need a dopamine hit. I need it now. I don't know how to calm my nervous system. I don't know that. I don't even. Regulation? What are you talking about? There's a regulation switch? What are you talking about? I have no idea. I don't even care. I'm off to the next thing. So they're absolutely impatient. And yeah, they don't know how to be still. They don't know how to self inquire because they're too busy looking with their outer eyes versus their inner eye. You know, I feel like I was going to say something else and I totally forgot. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. So you got to stay in a place of like neutrality and you have to be very patient. And what I mean by neutrality is like you just kind of like see things as it is without casting judgment or without like a preference point. You know what I mean? You know how like most people have preference points like, oh my God, I want it like this. I don't want it like that. Oh my God, it's too hot. I want it to be cold. Oh my God, it's too cold. I want it to be hot. Yeah. So like, yeah, like a neutral standpoint, like preference points are out the door. You're just kind of like observing things as they are, despite how they show up, you know? Yeah. So, like right now, it could be very hot. Instead of me having a preference point, like, oh my God, I need to be cool right now, I'll just like literally observe myself being hot. Neutral point and patience. And then sitting in silence, stillness, and space. That's how you find that regulatory button. And once you find that regulatory button within yourself and you learn how to regulate yourself in any given moment, self mastery. I like doing mic drops. So fun. Anyways, if you learned something from this video, cool. If you didn't learn anything, that's cool too, man. I'm sorry, my hair is like so messed up. Who cares? That's what it is. Yeah. Take care of yourself. Thank you for stopping by. Blessings to one and all. Amen.